Guys, welcome back to the channel, doing another reaction for a video that people have been telling me to check this guy out for a while now. I've never seen any of his videos. You know, I might have seen one of them once, but it's been a long time since I've seen this guy's channel. Dead Meat, who actually did a Friday the 13th ranking video, and I will be checking that out because I'm, you know, as you know, pretty big Jason Voorhees fan. Love Friday the 13th, so if I'm going to check out any of his videos first, it's going to be a Friday the 13th related video. So we're going to go ahead and dive into this guy's channel. Of course, if you're not subscribed to him, definitely check his channel out. Give him some support. You know, this is just a reaction to one of his videos. So let's go ahead and dive into this video. So on the count of three, we will press play on his ranking. I'm kind of curious to see what he ranks. How is he going to rank this one? I ranked the Friday the 13th films not too long ago, so if you want to go check that video out, I'll leave the video will be at the end of this video as a link. So let's go ahead and dive into this guy's video. So 3, 2, 1. Now.
Welcome to Dead Meat, the horror channel you always wished for but never had until now. I'm James A. Janice, and today I'm going to be ranking the 12 Friday the 13th movies from worst to best. A couple of caveats before we get started. First off, these are just my opinions, so try not to comment with death threats towards me or my mother just because I didn't
No,
make your favorite
definitely
Friday
not.
higher, alright?
Definitely not,
Secondly,
man.
as far as my judgment goes, I'll be looking at 5 criteria. How well it's made, including the writing, directing, acting, etc.
Alright,
How much it tries, how much it succeeds in what it's trying to do, how fun or entertaining it is to watch, and of course, those sweet, sweet kills.
Yep.
Also, to be fair, I'll be sure to name good things about the movies I rank low. Alright, enough with this intro, let's get to the rankings.
You don't have to, man. It's your opinion. Alright, let's see what he got at number 12.
It was difficult to pick the worst Friday the 13th movie, but it had to be one of them, and I chose A New Beginning. First off, the obvious, Jason isn't the killer, which isn't automatically a bad thing, but his replacement, Roy Burns, the paramedic,
I
sucks.
can understand it.
You talking to me,
I
Sheriff?
can.
Yeah, I am, Roy. Your motive doesn't make any sense. Did you even know your son was at that farm? Did anyone else in that small town know you guys were related? It's stupid. Switching the setting from Crystal Lake to a halfway house doesn't make it original, since the general gist of the movie is still too similar to the first 4 Fridays to stand out. Plus, a lot of the kills are in crappy-looking close-ups, and the way the camera lingers on all the topless chicks just feels sleazy. Good things about the movie? Well, there's sexy Psycho Tommy, who's suffering from a serious case of kick-assery. There's Edith,
Yeah,
the
man.
foul-mouthed redneck.
He kicks severe ass. Yeah, that's
Demon and Anita's pooping
good.
duet.
Hey, baby.
Ooh, baby.
And the wondrous sonic scream of Reckless Reggie. Number 11. Coming in at number 11 is part 3, and I can already
our
hear you
lists
tugging
are
away
way
your death
different.
threats. Yes, I know you think Manhattan and Goes to Hell are worse, but hear me out. This is the 3rd movie in the series, and there's hardly anything new to it. It's pretty much a clone of the first 2, just a bunch of stupid sexy teens getting killed at a lakeside setting. They even copy the ending of the original almost exactly.
See,
with the final girl in a boat
I wouldn't have
getting
been able to
attacked by a
rank that this low.
hallucination. It's brought down even further by the over-inclusion of gimmicky 3D shots that are both distracting and gratuitous, as well as the single worst fake head I've ever seen in cinema. I know it's the movie where Jason
still
gets
cool,
his
though.
mask, and it has a couple of really good kills
Still
like
really
Andy,
cool
who got
deaths.
split in half. But those don't make up for its uninventive story, its slow pace, and what is by far the worst acting in the entire series. You know what it is.
That's so
Good things about
quotable.
this movie? Well, like I said, Andy's death, scary smiling
Yeah.
Jason at the end when he's booking ass towards the lake, and the
Fantastic
lackadaisical way Jason walks back to the house after shooting Vera in the eye with a spear gun.
Love
like
it.
he just
Richard
realized it's
Brooker.
only Wednesday
That's
during
so
a long
good.
week at work.
Richard
Number
Brooker
10.
does
And
awesome.
number 10 is part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan.
That's
First
surprising.
off, huge points get docked, which is a boat pun, you're welcome.
That-
The blatant lie in the movie's title. Jason don't take Manhattan, Jason takes a boat, and then he has a layover-length visit to Manhattan. It's a huge bummer because early drafts of the movie had such a promising
I'll talk
premise,
after.
but the execution was seriously botched. We all know by now that budgetary restraints kept Jason on that damn cruise ship for over an hour,
Yeah,
but the movie
that's
has
a
a lot
crime.
more wrong with it than just that. I'm talking about all the watered-down kills and the absurd little boy Jason that haunts Remy around and for some reason has hair. Plus, when Jason takes off his mask, he looks ridiculous, like a Muppet left out in the sun too long. I can't believe they made Kane Hodder wear that. Good things about this movie? Well, it's something different at least than just kills at a summer camp. It's got that amazing shot of Jason in the middle
But
of Times Square.
that's
There's
what
the
I love
kick-ass
about
scene
Friday
with
the
Julius
13th,
boxing
is the
Jason on
camp,
a rooftop before getting his head knocked off.
Yeah.
And there's a cute puppy named Toby, who totally survives the movie. I forgot to mention that in the kill count, and people freaked out in the comments. Don't worry, guys, he lives and he got so many treats when he got home. He's such a good boy. Number 9. Coming in at number 9 is the 9th Friday itself.
You know,
Jason
actually,
Goes
I
to
think
Hell,
I had
the final
Jason Goes to
Friday.
Hell
I was
over
tempted to
Takes
rank this
Manhattan.
one lower, but
Yeah,
a few things
I agree
kept
with
me from
that.
doing it. First and foremost, the gore. Whether it's eating a rotten heart or melting to the floor, this movie's got a lot of real nasty, bloody stuff
Yeah,
that
it
goes
does.
further than most entries in the series, and I give it respect for
Awesome.
that. It also has a couple of the coolest characters and best
Awesome.
actors in the form of Steven the Badass Nerd and Creighton the Finger Snapper Duke. Finally, I can respect that it tried to do something different, but man, did it blow it. The whole Jason is a nasty slug that infects people and
I
needs
didn't like
another
that,
Voorhees to live forever thing
Dumb.
is ridiculous, and it's jarring to have a bunch of bizarre mythology injected into a series during its 9th movie. Plus, say what you will about Roy Burns, at least that guy dressed like Jason. Watching a police officer and a newscaster kill people is just an average Wednesday in America, and the plainclothes Jasons contribute to how boring this movie is between kills. And I forgot to mention it during the kill count, but this movie actually has Jason grunting.
Well, actually, there's a lot of Jason grunting.
It's the only time Jason's
in
ever been
the
that
movies.
vocal, and it don't sit right with me. Good things about this movie? Well, like I said,
Yeah,
there's
he
the
does
gore,
kinda
the
sing
funny
that-
characters,
that
and the fact
groaning,
that it
doesn't
tried
he?
to be different. Oh, and Jason looks pretty cool, as little as we
Fuck
get to
yeah, he
actually
does.
see him.
One of the best
Number
looks,
8.
in my opinion.
I can't believe this isn't ranked lower, but number 8 is Freddy vs. Jason. No, I'm like really confusing myself here because I pretty much hated this movie. With some of the worst and most superficial characters in the series and the use of some visual effects that really annoy me, namely the choppy slow motion and the way
Yeah.
people take flight whenever
I can
they're
see
hit by
that. I
something.
can
was pretty much
understand.
miserable for most of this movie. But the thing that brings it back is the solid 20 minutes of screen time we get with Jason and Freddy just beating the crap out of each other. Some might say
Good
the
shit.
gore is over the top here, and I wouldn't disagree, but I like how insanely brutal it got. I mean, we're talking two of the
That
most
ending,
famous
man.
icons in horror history. It wouldn't feel right if it were PG-13 levels of gore. Plus,
The final
like I said in the kill
problem-
count,
yeah.
the premise used to pit them against each other is pretty good. It's
Yeah,
just the
yeah.
rest of the movie that sucks. Jason afraid of water. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
Good
that
things
was-
about this
that's
movie?
stupid.
Besides all the times Jason and Freddy fight each other, Will and Mark are pretty cool characters. There are also at least 2 great kills, with Jason killing the
Will,
emotionally
not so
abusive
much.
boyfriend Trey with a chiropractic crunch and cutting bottom shelf Jason Mewes in half with a machete. Snoochie Boochies, brother.
Some good
Number
practical.
7.
Yeah,
now
some
we're
good
moving from
practical
the bad
effects.
to the mediocre, and what's a more mediocre Friday film than part 2? Again, I hear your keyboard clacking away, but calm down just a minute. I know this is Jason's big premiere, but besides that, it's basically just the original done all over again. Same amount of victims, similar levels of gore, and although Jason's finally arrived, he's not developed at all, so it doesn't feel too much
No
different than
offense,
the first
buddy.
person
No
killing from the
offense.
first one.
I just
However, there
can't
are some
agree with
things
your
that
list
elevate this movie.
almost
First
at
and
all.
foremost is Final Girl Ginny, one of the best final girls
I
of the whole
respect it.
series, who
I
fights back at
respect
Jason
it,
both
but-
physically and mentally, using that child psychology she mentioned studying.
Use a little of that child psychology you're majoring in.
I'm
A couple of
surprised.
other characters are memorable too, like Mark, the guy in the wheelchair
But
who has
to
an
each their
incredible
own,
death
you know?
sequence falling backwards down the goddamn
One of
Odessa
the best.
steps, and
One
Vicky,
of the
who's super
best.
cute and endearing in how forward she is with Mark.
What do you want to play for?
They were the best characters in the movie, in my opinion.
Plus, we got Crazy Ralph and Alice returning to
Yep.
provide some nice continuity from the first film. All in all,
For
part
like
2 is a
5
nice
seconds.
middle-of-the-road entry in the Friday franchise. Number 6. Another middling entry is Part 7, The New Blood. Again, there's a lot going for this movie and a lot taken away from it. In the plus
I like
column
that
is
he
Kane
put
Hodder
7
as
pretty
Jason,
high.
which is a big deal for the Friday franchise.
Yeah,
I know
it
he's
is.
not everyone's favorite, but he's probably the actor who cared the most about being the character. And that passion shines through in all the abuse he takes as the man behind the mask. Speaking of which, this is by far the coolest looking Jason. That nasty, gnarly face and the exposed spine show the extent to which he has become a supernatural being and creates for a memorable standout
dope.
looking
It's
incarnation.
dope.
On
I'm
the
not gonna
opposite
lie.
end of the spectrum, these characters
Yeah.
are so forgettable that they might not have even had any names. The only teen to make an impression is
Tina.
Melissa, who excels
Well,
as
Melissa
the
and
blonde bitch
Tina. I
stereotype
thought,
character.
you know,
and
Tina
of course
was-
Tina, who also
Yeah.
helps raise this movie to another level. Yeah, she's basically a Carrie ripoff, but it's still awesome watching someone fight back against
I agree.
Jason,
I
especially
agree.
with something
You know,
as delightfully
it was fun.
silly as telekinetic powers. I mean, she headbutts him with a decapitated head. That's great. But to bring it back down a notch, these are some of the weakest kills in the series, heavily censored from their original versions.
Yeah.
And I can't even count the number of times the characters run back and forth into the woods. It's exhausting. Also, don't even get me started on that ending.
If the
Mudface
studio-
Dead Dad is one of the single stupidest
Yeah,
moments
I agree
in
with
all
that.
of Friday the 13th.
It was
history.
dumb. It was dumb.
Number 5. I know I'm gonna get so much shit for placing it at number 5, but up next is the original Friday the 13th. I'm sorry,
No.
guys, all right?
No.
I know a lot of people think you can't do better than the original, but
Yeah,
in
you
the case
can.
of Friday
Yeah,
the
you
13th,
can.
I disagree. Look,
I
I can
agree too.
appreciate this movie's impact on the genre and how it became super popular even with a shoestring budget and an unknown cast, but that doesn't necessarily make it great. For one, it's an admitted clone of Halloween, so don't get on me about it being
Yeah.
anything original. Also, there's really
You're
nothing
right,
to
you're
these
right.
characters other than their potential to get killed, although I guess Ned is memorable for being such an idiot. idiot, and Adrian King lends final girl Alice a strength that really comes out during the final fight. To be entirely fair, this is a really simple movie that knew it was a really simple movie. It set out to be a bloody slasher flick, and it succeeded, so that gives it points. Plus, who doesn't love Pamela Voorhees and all those close-ups on her pearly whites? Ultimately, I think the original Friday the 13th is the prototypical slasher film, and I mean that entirely, for better or worse.
Yeah. I can
Number
agree.
4.
I'm agree.
At number 4 is the 2009 reboot of Friday the 13th, and at this point, I know there's no stopping all the hateful comments I'm gonna get. Ranking the reboot higher than the original? Blasphemy, I know, but let me make my case.
I can get
While
it.
The original
I can
Friday
understand.
the 13th tried to be scary with an unknown killer lurking around the edges of the camp, the remake terrifies us by showing an agile powerhouse Jason and the torturous ways he can kill people. It's definitely a matter of taste, but for me, the far more horrifying thing is thinking about being roasted alive over a fire pit, or being left to scream in agony as some sort of bait for my friends. I really dig reboot Jason and the way he runs at people and sets traps for them. It feels more realistic and thus more scary than just a big guy shambling around swinging a machete at people. I will say the characters prevent this movie from being capital G great, and I actually think it goes too far with the nudity, which becomes distracting in how frequent and extreme it is. But on the other side of the coin, you got Lawrence and
I agree with that.
doing a great
I agree with
job
that,
as
man.
comic relief, and the central relationship is one between siblings, which is always great to see. Love you, Janelle. Number 3.
Yeah,
All right, at this point, I feel like every ranking is just gonna piss you guys off even more, because number 3 for me is Jason X. You still there?
X.
All right, cool. Listen, I know a lot of people hate this movie. Like, a lot of people hate this movie. But I loved it, man, because here's the thing. It sets out to be a silly, self-aware sci-fi action Jason movie, and you know what? That's exactly what it is. Yeah, Jason in space is absolutely ridiculous, but this is the 10th movie in the franchise. Did you really just want to watch him kill a bunch of camp counselors all over again? I love that this movie features a bunch of women kicking ass, especially upgraded KM when she blows Jason to pieces, and the self-aware Scream-style humor really worked for me, whether it was Janessa and her quips,
Oh, this sucks on so many levels!
or the professor being naive.
It's okay, he just wanted his machete back!
The actors all bought into the ridiculousness, and
It's
their
a good time.
performances
I
perfectly
get it.
matched the
I get
almost
it.
satirical tone of the film. And guys, it's got the best kill
I'll talk
of the
after,
series.
you know.
2 words: liquid nitrogen. Hell yeah, son. Throw in Sergeant Brodsky, who I stand by as the most badass character of the series. After all, Tommy Jarvis didn't intercept Jason on a jetpack in the middle of outer space. And the virtual Camp Crystal Lake sequence, and you've got what I consider a super fun movie, even if the sets do look a little bit like that Space Cases show from Nickelodeon back in the day. Number 2. Number 2 for me is Part 6, Jason Lives.
I get it.
I know most of you put it
And
as your
number one's
one,
my number
but
one,
number 2
so.
out of 12 is nothing to be ashamed of. Jason Lives wins massive points for being the first in the series to strike a different tone. It was still Jason killing teens at a summer camp, but this movie made the decision to have fun with it. They broke the fourth wall, made its character self-aware of horror movies, and did a whole bunch of silly gags, even if they didn't always work. It brought back Tommy Jarvis, and Tom Matthews played him as a likable, determined guy, a protagonist we could truly get behind. And
It's a good
matched him up
time,
with
man.
Megan Garris,
Doesn't
one of
take
the
itself
most capable
seriously.
final girls in
Good
the series.
fun.
Megan's dad, Sheriff
Great
Garris,
popcorn
adds
flick.
an extra layer of awesomeness to this movie with his gruff, no bullshit demeanor,
Either you get some sleep, or I'm gonna come in there and put you out.
tempered by a real love for his daughter. Even if he did, you know, point a shotgun at her that one time. And although I'm not personally a fan of hair metal, it doesn't detract from cool action sequences like the flaming RV
He did that
shot.
just
Sure,
to tell
the
her he
kills
was
aren't the best
serious.
in the
Get out of
series,
the car.
but
We're not
Jason
playing
Lives
no
is
more.
a fully confident and unique entry to the series that stands out among all the others. Number 1. That being said, the number 1 Friday the 13th movie for
I
me
agree.
is the final chapter. I will
Yeah.
admit that this one is very similar to the first 3 Fridays, but for me, it's the perfect distillation of what those movies wanted to be. Check it, you've got Jason in his hockey mask the entire time. Great, he's played by Ted White, who I think everyone can agree is a top 3 Jason actor. And while there's still a
Number
group
1
of
for
horny
me.
teenagers, they at least include Crispin Glover, who gives us some amazing dance moves in his memorably awkward performance. And even better, they're not really the people we're supposed to care about. Instead, we have another awesome sibling relationship in Trish and Tommy Jarvis. Tommy Jarvis is, of course, the most popular Friday the 13th character outside of Jason Voorhees himself. And Trish is actually really cool too. Watch the way she defends
Trish is a
Tommy by
badass,
busting the
really
TV
underrated.
over Jason's head.
She
Or
did
taking
some
Jason's
good shit.
machete and hacking right between his fingers, giving him permanent shocker
You
pain.
son
and
of a
with Tom
bitch.
Savini back
I'll
behind
give
the
you something
makeup,
to
the kills are all
remember.
great.
Bye.
Not only do we get gruesome kills like Glover's cleaver to the face, and yes, it is a cleaver, not a machete like I said in the kill count. I got it wrong. You can stop commenting now. But we also get the coolest off-screen kill and the best defenestration courtesy of the Doublemint twins. To top it all off, we get a nasty-looking unmasked Jason who does that wicked face line down a
Great
machete. This
reveal.
movie may
Great
just be
death,
Jason
too.
killing kids around a lake, but it is a perfect version of Jason killing kids around a lake. And that's why it's the number 1 Friday the 13th movie for me.
I agree
That's
with
my
that.
list. I know you're gonna have major disagreements, so
yeah,
hit
I
me up
do.
in those comments. Just try not to be too much of dicks about it, okay? If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel and watch my popular kill count
Definitely, I'm
series,
doing that right
and
now,
consider
actually.
contributing to my Patreon to help me release more videos more often. Until next time, I'm James A. Janice. You've been watching Dead Meat.
Bam, I'm subscribed. 5.1 million subscribers. Congratulations, man. I love that a horror channel is just doing really good. I just love that. Okay, look. I respect his opinion. I really do. I respect his list. Not a bad list at all. It's very unique in a lot of ways. Do I agree with it? No, not at all. Part 2 towards the end. I mean, I just no. I think he had part 3 like towards like the bottom 2, and like Jason Takes Manhattan, I think, like after that, which, you know, I can understand. I'm not complaining, I'm not criticizing. I get it. You know, none of the movies here are gem. I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of them are gems in my opinion. Part 5 being last, you know, I think part 5 is a lot of fun. I like the camp setting, so that's where we disagree. He wanted to see something new with the franchise, which I respect. I think I obviously I can understand that. I mean, it's just the same old, same old. So I like it's interesting. It's interesting. I'll check out more of his videos for sure. See if he has any more ranking videos. But guys, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. What do you guys think of this? Did you guys like his list? Did you guys agree with it? Let me know your ranking down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Hit up Dead Meat. Subscribe to his channel if you haven't heard of him. Hopefully, I'm sure you guys have. Yes, 5.1 million subscribers. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Keep it retro, movie friends, and I will check you guys out in the next video. Take care.